righty. Well, welcome to our daily Devo for Friday, the 12th of May. Today, we left Bethlehem after 3 days, and now we're on to Bethphage or Bethphage. I've never been sure the correct the correct pronunciation. Bethphage, Church of Bethphage is the subtitle on this one. Directs us to Luke 19, and I think you just might recognize from just two verses where we're at, what the events are happening. Go to the village ahead of you, Jesus says to his disciples, and as you enter it, you will find a colt tied there, which no one has ever ridden. Untie it, bring it here. If anyone asks you, why are you untying it? Say, the Lord has need of it. The atmosphere was charged long before Jesus got to Bethphage. It was Passover, a festival that brought thousands of excited worshipers to Jerusalem. But on that first Palm Sunday, the excitement escalated to new levels when Jesus rode a donkey into Bethphage. This is a story on the move. So let's make sure we set it against its changing landscape. Jesus had spent the night in Bethany. He rose early and climbed the east side of the Mount of Olives en route to Jerusalem, which lay on the opposite side of this 2-mile-long ridge. Near the ridge's crest was the village of Bethphage. Prior to arriving at Bethphage, Jesus sent two of his disciples ahead to secure a donkey he could ride into the village. This looks strange at several levels. First, it's the only time we read of Jesus riding on an animal. Second, he had just hiked up a steeply pitched slope for 20 minutes, and only now does he want a donkey to ride on. Third, he verbally insists that he needs it. The book of Zechariah holds the key to decoding the mystery. Some 550 years before Jesus' birth, this prophet spoke to Israelites who had just returned from exile in Babylon. He prophesied of the future Messiah's arrival in Jerusalem, and the similarities to Palm Sunday are striking. The Messiah would enter the holy city, quote, lowly and riding on a donkey on a colt, the foal of a donkey, Zechariah 9:9. The role of the donkey in the Palm Sunday story is easier to understand than the role of Bethphage. So let's dig deeper into the geography. Zechariah prophesied not only that the Messiah would ride a donkey, but also that he would ride it across the city limits and into Jerusalem. So where were the city limits of Jerusalem in the first century? Its defensive walls might seem like a good guess, but the Palm Sunday celebration was already underway on the Mount of Olives long before Jesus got anywhere near the city walls. Early Jewish writings describe a different location for Jerusalem's city limits. Bethphage at the crest of the Mount of Olives. That's why, I misread that with the punctuation. Early Jewish writings describe a different location for Jerusalem's city limits, Bethphage, at the crest of the Mount of Olives. That's why Jesus sends his disciples ahead and has them bring a donkey to him before he arrives at Bethphage. And that's why the ecstatic welcome of the first Palm Sunday begins the moment word circulates that Jesus has ridden a donkey into Bethphage. It may be easier to picture the donkey than the place, but the story of Palm Sunday has an important geographical dimension. As is often the case, geography is not just incidental, but integral to the telling of this story. He's told us, Zechariah prophesied this. That's why the details are important, because God is in the details. We talk about that so often. at our church, especially in prayer meeting and things of that nature, or just private, personal conversations. God's timing, all the prophecy. I was told one time, I've never counted for myself, that there are around 300 Old Testament prophecies that Jesus fulfilled in that first coming. Virgin having a child, his clothes being gambled for at the cross, riding into Jerusalem on a donkey that's never been ridden. It's a sign of peace. That's how it would have been understood. God's timing, God's in the details. And we can take confidence and hope in that when things are going on in our lives. If we're his child, if we're a follower of his, if we've put our faith in him, we can trust that he is in the details and that he has a purpose and a plan for each and every one. Whatever happens in our day today or any day that the Lord gives us life, there's a purpose in the details. We need to pay attention and listen to what he has to say to us, what he has to show to us. Blessings to you today on this Friday.